We begin tonight with the latest on a naval training jet crash that happened this afternoon in Ricardo. The Navy tonight telling us the two training jets collided in midair. Both pilots said to be okay after ejecting from their aircraft. One of the pilots landing on top of a nearby house. We've got details in tonight's top story. The crash happening around 10:30 this morning when two T-45 Goshawk training jets collided in midair in Ricardo. One jet was able to land safely at Naval Air Station Kingsvill. Authorities tonight saying two pilots in the other aircraft safely ejected about 9 miles south of Kingsvill in Ricardo. One pilot was taken to the Christus Spahn Hospital in Clayburgh for minor injuries. Both pilots expected to be okay tonight. The Navy investigating the cause of the incident this evening.